All right, y'all, happy Saturday morning. Thank y'all so much for registering for the final summer series on stress and sickness. I really hope that this three-part series this summer has been helpful for you and given you some little tidbits to take away with. Again, just kind of going back to the beginnings of this series, I really wanted this to build on itself, but also be able to be taken in separately. Um, and with summer, typically we tend to think of summer as like, we get to relax and just hang out, and we do get to do that, but a lot of times summer is actually pretty stressful. It's its own kind of stress. Let me say that. But now we are in the swing of back to school stress, so this could not be a better time to talk about this. Um, and so we're going to go ahead and get started today. And if my computer will work, there we go. So just to kind of recap what this summer series has been for us together, part one was just kind of an overall view of stress, talking about the three types of stress, the effects on the body, the whole fight, flight, or freeze response that we all have. And then even talking about perceived stress and oxidative stress within the body. Part two, last month in July, was all about stress and hormones. So talking about that connection, talking about specific stress hormones, mainly cortisol, and how to calm stress using essential oils and even interrupt that process and that response from the body. And of course, the best oils for hormonal balance and stress management in regards to that. So again, this is timely. We are back to school, which typically means back to stress. And although this is supposed to make you laugh a little bit, I think this is the belief that a lot of us have. Now, Hazen is not school age right now, so I am not in the thick of this transition. But when I was coaching people, I talked with a lot of teachers and, of course, a lot of moms who were going through this. And typically, what I would see was it would take several weeks, almost a good month, to adjust to this back to school routine and the stress of it all. Now that may be true for you, that maybe it was longer, maybe it wasn't that long for you specifically, but I think a lot of us tend to believe that when we go back to school, we go back to the stress. But you guys, it doesn't have to be the norm, and it doesn't have to be that way. No, we can't take the stress out of the situation, but we can have tools and oils and things to help us better cope with that. So how we're going to be closing out Summer Series Part 3, we're going to be revisiting some of those physical effects of stress on the body, but specifically what it does to our immune system. We're going to talk about how essential oils can boost the immune system year-round, not just this season and this time right now. And then also I'm going to show you how easy it is to incorporate essential oils and these products that I'm going to talk about into your already hectic schedule. I get it. It's adjusting to work. It's adjusting to getting the kids up earlier, having them go to bed earlier at night, their extracurricular activities, all of those things. I totally get it, but it is so easy to incorporate these products. And we're going to talk about that. But first things first, how does sickness stress you out? Think about the last time that you were sick, or maybe someone in your family was sick. Gosh, for us, I was trying to think of this question for myself. It's honestly been a while since we've been seriously sick with like a stomach bug or a virus, or even just a sinus infection. Thank you to doTERRA and oils for that, knock on wood too. But think back for you, what effect did that have on you being sick, whatever it was? How did that affect your spouse? How did that affect the rest of your family, your kids? What dynamics did that change within your family? And also think of, just what additional stress did that bring on top of the stress that already occurred for you to get sick in the first place? So hopefully you followed that question. But seriously though, typically when we're sick, we're tired. We have the stress of also going back to work. Maybe we have to take a day or two off of work and recover. And then we're backlogged with projects and our timeline and all of that. Even kids, when they're sick, they have that that backlog of homework that they have to catch up on, and that's another stressor too. So not only do you have the stress of actually being sick and like wondering, when is my body going to get better, and the physical stress that's happening and taking on your body, but also the stress after the fact of getting readjusted to things, right? So it's all this cyclical effect. And you know, we can't lead a worry-free life or a stress-free life, but you know, we're actually going to be really talking about these two questions. Can managing our worry boost our health? And can stress actually make us sick? And I think maybe you'll be a little surprised with this. But we're going to be talking about what is the immune system anyway. And very much like last month when we talked about our hormones and the endocrine system, it's very complex. It's not just one thing, it's a multitude of things. And so this is really the body's defense system. You can see here, you've got our lymph nodes, our tonsils, our appendix, our spleen, the Peyer's patches. That's a specific collection of cells within your large intestine that help with the immune system. And so through a series of steps called the immune response, this entire thing attacks everything from bacteria to viruses, toxins that we come in contact with, all of the things. And it's a fine-tuned working machine, y'all, but there are things that we may do, we may eat, that can affect the efficiency of this system. But did you know that there are two parts to your immune system? So there's on one hand, the innate immune system. So this is the one that you're born with. It's the first to respond to any threats within the body, and it actually starts working the moment you are born. So as soon as you came out your mama, your immune system starts to work, which is really cool. And what typically tends to happen with this part of the immune system, the cells within this innate immune system actually surround the threat and basically engulf it and get rid of it that way. This is going to include your fingernails, your skin. If you've never thought about this, your skin is the biggest organ on your body, and it's also the first line of defense that you have. Mucous membrane, so like your nose, things like that, your tears, your earwax, all of these things are made to protect your body from stuff getting in there and wreaking havoc on the inside. On the other hand, you have your adaptive immune system. So this is the one you develop over time. The innate immune system, again, that is starting when you're born. You are, and typically how you're birthed, whether it's through C-section or through a vaginal birth, you're actually given, your mom is actually giving you certain bacteria and pathogens and all of that to kind of help your immune system get started. And then what's really cool is your body learns, your immune system learns, it adapts to threats that it comes in contact with, which is really cool. So this side of the immune system actually produces cells, we know them as antibodies, when the body is exposed to chemicals or microbes, germs, all of that. So the thing is with this, it can take several days before these antibodies are actually produced, but once they are produced, they're there. They stay in the body, they're always ready if it ever comes in contact with that particular issue again. This is going to really include lymphocytes, your lymph nodes, really just your lymphatic system in general, and some other things as well. Sorry, just needed to take a little drink there. But so I want to really quickly talk about how antibiotics play a role with this, even like things with the flu shot. And no matter what your stance is on the flu shot, if you love it, you hate it, you're totally against it, I don't care, doesn't matter. But you know, we've been, number one, we've been conditioned, you know, if you're sick, take a pill. If you go to the doctor, here's an antibiotic. So let me talk about antibiotics first. So antibiotics were, I mean, they're a good thing. They work. They are necessary in a lot of cases. And really, antibiotics were developed to kill or disable specific bacteria. Now, notice I didn't say viruses. That's because antibiotics are not made for sicknesses or infections caused by viruses. You know, viruses are what's typically happening inside the cell. That's where they wreak their havoc. Bacteria and other things are typically outside the body, and antibiotics can pretty easily wipe that stuff away, wipe out that stuff. If you've ever been with me or heard me taught an essential oils 101 class, typically when we're taking medications, it's full of synthetic compounds, right? They're made to mimic what plants already offer in nature. And so the body's really smart. The body knows that it is synthetic, and so it's not going to let that medication get inside the cell where maybe the virus is, or if the cell is just not functioning properly. And so that's a problem. That's why antibiotics are not going to work on viruses, because they can't get to the root problem. And especially when we're using antibiotics for viral infections, or if we use the wrong antibiotic, it can actually help the bacteria become resistant. And that's what we're really seeing. We're seeing a lot of these, I'm calling them superbugs, because, again, antibiotics have typically been the first response when people get sick, and the bacteria has over time learned to just become immune to it. So a lot of the common prescribed antibiotics don't work for things anymore, which is kind of scary. You have to come out with the bigger, heavy hitters, which have more side effects, and your body, all the things. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense. So same, when you're talking about the flu, I don't really have a slide about this. I just want to talk about this for a side note. Especially when you're talking about your adaptive immune system. When you are getting the flu shot, and every year the flu shot, to my understanding, is a little bit different. It's, the researchers or whoever's making the flu shot for that year, they're trying to anticipate what flu strains are probably going to be most prevalent. And they are basically, and again, I'm no expert, I ain't no doctor, but to my understanding, they are basically putting pieces of those flu strains in the flu shot and exposing your body to it. So your body is able to build up these antibodies to, if you ever were to come across the flu strain later on that year, then you've already got the antibodies ready to go, right? Now, do some people get sick from the flu shot? Yes, because you're literally getting little small bits of the virus strain inside your body, which really, if you think about it, is normal. I mean, if your body wasn't trying to combat that flu shot, then, that's kind of a problem, right? Obviously some people get sick and have a longer time to get over that. Sometimes people they don't have any issues with the flu shot, but that is the purpose of that flu shot, is to introduce your body to whatever strains are in that flu shot to help prepare you for that next season. Now, again, whether you agree with it or not, I don't care. This is not that forum, but that is what is happening. And sometimes we miss the strains. We get the flu shot and we still get sick with the flu. It's probably because that flu shot didn't have antibodies for that specific strain you got sick with. I hope all that makes sense. If you have questions about that, let me know. But that is how that plays a role. And while I was actually putting this information together and learning more about this relationship between immunity and stress, I found this little section on early life stress that was mind-boggling to me. And so let me just kind of walk you through this a little bit. So a 2014 research study found that stress that occurs early in life has effects and consequences on our immune system that can be observed both in the near future and in the long term. So in other words, psychological stress in children may alter their immune response. And in this particular research study, it looked at stress in the family in the form of serious life events, parenting stress, lack of social support, and parental worries. And this was done on 5-year-olds, y'all, like barely into like the school age years. And kids are already experiencing early life stress even before they get into school. And so it was really interesting to learn that, the stress that you may experience as a child, whether it's, again, a lack of social support, maybe you don't feel like you can go to mom and dad, maybe you don't have someone that you can talk to or feel safe with, from a child's perspective. Parenting stress, serious life events, maybe to a child that's moving, maybe it's, you know, an accident, maybe a death in the family. I don't know. I mean, you could kind of go on your own tangent with that. But, you know, we can easily see or maybe even imagine how more serious situations like malnutrition, abuse, poverty, you know, you could insert your own early life trauma or early life stress. It can manifest itself into adulthood. And a lot of times, especially if you're not doing any kind of self-work or self-discovery, self-development, you don't even realize that a lot of your current issues and responses are rooted in this early life stress that you dealt with as a child. It's absolutely fascinating. So, and it does have short-term and long-term effects on our immune system and on our immune response too. There was another study that talked about bullying. Now, this was mind-blowing to me for a couple of reasons. This study, also done in 2014, stated that bullied children have adverse physical health functioning, such as sleep problems, appetite suppression, headaches, and frequency of illness. So their immune response is affected by being bullied as well. Researchers also said that their findings suggested that bullying may disrupt levels of inflammation well into adulthood, similar to what is seen for early traumatic events such as child malnutrition. Now that might be mind-blowing in and of itself, but bullying is a much bigger deal than we give it credit for, right? And there's also this last bit, yes. So also this same study, I had to put this on its own slide because it was mind-blowing to me and it was a little convicting to me as well. But just hear me read this and just take this in. Finally, bullying is different from other childhood adversities studied. It is a relatively common experience for children and adolescents and the most frequent form of violence experienced outside of the home, although it is still considered by many to be a harmless rite of passage and by others a modest, time-limited stressor. The two things that really stood out to me and gosh, just really hit home for me, it's the most frequent form of violence experienced outside the home, and that it's considered to be a harmless rite of passage and a time-limited stressor. I mean, that's me. Before reading this research study and seeing this connection, I mean, if you would have asked me about bullying, yeah, I was bullied. I mean, I got picked on. It was, you know, everyone did it. That harmless rite of passage kind of thinking. It was a time limited stressor. It happened in middle school, y'all. I can even picture. There was this one time in 5th grade. You know, were any of y'all's friends groups like really big in middle school? I remember there were like 12 of us girls that we would all hang out, and probably about the same amount of guys in our same grade. We were always hanging out together. And there was this one day, I could not even tell you why I was crying, how I had been made fun of, or what had been said to me, but I remember it was 5th grade, recess, we were outside, and I can just see myself kneeling on the ground, crying into my hands, bawling. The guys are behind me, making fun of me, laughing at me, saying all these mean things. My friends are in front of me, watching all this happen. I mean, not knowing what to do. You're 5th grade, what are you, 10? You know, how do you stop that? And finally, you know, 2 teachers had to come over and intervene, make the boys go away, and, you know, pick me up and make me feel better. But I mean, that's just ingrained, you know. And again, I have no idea why, like what the root issue was. But again, like I would think that it's just what happens. It's part of middle school. You get bullied, but y'all, again, I don't have any school-age kids. But I do know that the bullying and the picking on when I was in middle school and school-age years is nothing compared to the bullying and going on, you know, what's going on right now, especially with social media and the fact that bullying can be done through a computer and not face-to-face. It's a whole different ballgame for kids now. So if you have kids in school, if you have friends or family that have kids in school, check on those kids. You know, make a point to be that social support for them, to advocate for them, again, just to tell them that you're here. I feel like I'm getting off on a tangent, but this was so mind-blowing to me that this form of bullying can so affect our immune response that it affects us into adulthood. It's not just at that age when you're experiencing the bullying. And honestly, bullying I think still happens into adulthood, y'all. I think even as adults we can still experience bullying. I'm sure it's probably called something else, but it even happens now. And then kind of switching gears here, this other aspect that I wanted to talk about is the gut. I've talked about this in other classes, but our immune system is housed in the gut. 80% of our immune system is found in our stomachs, and that isn't just like our stomach, it's our small intestine, our large intestine, even our mouth and our esophagus. It's all connected, right? And there's a lot of interaction between the body's immune system and the bacteria in the gut. If you're not familiar, gut health, it's also called microbiome, microbiota. I've even heard it called holobiome, but it is all of the bacteria, good and bad, that keeps our bodies in check. And gosh, maybe I should just do a whole class on the gut. Anyway, getting off track again. But the gut microbiome, microbiota, it actually affects both the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. So remember, we talked about those two parts. Gut health, it has an effect on both. It also has a profound effect on our immune system. Again, 80% of the immune system is found in the gut. And it can also affect autoimmune related diseases, both inside the gut, so like your IBS, your, I can't even think of any other, Crohn's disease, and also outside of the gut as well in other areas of the body. And the gut is influenced by the foods that we're eating, the air that we breathe, not so much the air outside, but even the toxic air inside of our house. It's affected by exercise, again, by stress. And so how we take care of our current bodies matters. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, what stage of life you're in. You can start to make changes to get your gut health in check, get that gut balance back in check, and that is going to fuel your immune system. So, maybe you've tried to prevent sickness before. Maybe you've been really good with your exercising, your eating habits, other lifestyle factors, getting good sleep, but you still get sick. I would ask you this question: were you really paying attention to your gut health? Because that is the root. If you find yourself sick all the time, really having chronic issues, focus on your gut. Get with me. You and I can have a conversation about where to start with that, and I can help you as best as I can. So in a nutshell, kind of wrapping this up, stress causes your body to produce cortisol. We remember that from June, that very first class, that is the main stress hormone. In really short spurts of cortisol, it's not a bad thing. It can actually boost your immunity by limiting inflammation within the body and going ahead and taking care of that as soon as it happens. The problem is, again, over time with chronic stress, the body gets used to those excess levels of cortisol. And so instead of keeping that inflammation in check, it gets used to it. So we see that rise in inflammation. And stress also decreases the body's lymphocytes. These are our white blood cells. These are the ones that fight off the infections and tackle the threats, right? When we have a lower lymphocyte level, the more at risk we are for getting infections and sickness and viruses and all of that. And so when we're talking about essential oils in the immune system, number one, essential oils are not cures. They are not made to replace antibiotics in some cases. They are not made to replace medications. What they do is they actually work with the body's natural process. The immune response is a natural process within the body. Our bodies were designed to protect themselves, heal themselves, keep itself in check, right? But essential oils have the ability to help the immune system bring itself back into balance, because that can be an issue, right? Oh, hey, Whitney. And so we're talking about, again, how essential oils work with the body. What I love about this is the chemical compounds in oils, they're known as what's lipophilic. They're fat soluble. This is what allows them to penetrate that cell membrane and go right on in and tackle the threat within the cell. And what's really cool is most pure essential oils are naturally drawn to the inside of the cell. So it's almost, I mean, I kind of think of it as like a magnet, just naturally drawn to it. And when we're using oils that have been adulterated or they've been diluted, they're not 100% pure, the chemical compounds that are in that oil, they're approaching the cell, they're coming into the body, they're just a mirror image of what it's supposed to be. And that actually limits the support that it can give the body. That's why it's so important. Again, I'm pro doTERRA. Just the research and the processes that doTERRA has in place ensures that you are getting a pure essential oil to use on yourself and your kids and your family. And you really need to pay attention to that, because a lot of oils will say they're 100% pure. They're organic, they're therapeutic, whatever the buzzword is, but that doesn't mean that it actually has the compounds that give your body that therapeutic benefit. Does that make sense? Hope so. But isn't that really cool? Pure essential oils are actually drawn to the inside of the cell. Now, keep in mind, again, essential oils are not the cure-all. Lifestyle choices play a huge factor in our immunity too. We can't just incorporate essential oils and still eat fast food, still not exercise, still not practice self-care and stress management. It's all got to work together. And so two big things is nutrition and detox. So, nutrition is really at the root of a lot of disease and a lot of health issues. And so think about this: if your cells don't get that proper nutrition, they don't get that energy, they can't protect the body as well. Threats can more easily penetrate and multiply within the body. So really, again, when you're talking about root issues, it's nutrition. And doTERRA has a lot of supplements that have superfoods already into them, right? And so we'll talk about those in a little bit. The other aspect is detox. Again, we are bombarded with environmental toxins from our food, from the products that we use on our skin and on our hair. And many times we have this buildup. And, when we get sick, it's actually our body trying to navigate and eliminate the toxins. We can also detox by exercising. Sweating is a great way to get toxins out of your body. And again, doTERRA has lots of products that help with detox. And this is where I'm here to help. I know that essential oils are not it. I know that it does take a lifestyle change. And so part of my 90-day program is actually helping you figure out what lifestyle changes may need to happen, what specific oils and products you'll need to help with the nutrition side, help with the detox, and help with whatever other health issues that you are worried about. And so again, great news. doTERRA has products to combat all of this, to combat stress, to combat detox, help with nutrition, and especially helping to boost your immune system, which is really cool. And so when we're talking about using oils and using products, we've got the 3 ways that you use oils here: aromatic, topical, and internal. Internal is going to be the most effective. Really, all of them are great. It's great to diffuse. It's great to use your oils and products topically. You're still going to get benefits there. But here's the thing with aromatic and topical: you're only absorbing a small percentage of the chemical compounds in the oil, typically between 25 to 50%, just depending on how you're using it, if you're diluting it or mixing it with a carrier oil. But when you're talking about internal use, that number jumps up to upwards of 90 to 95%. So you're absorbing way more of the chemical constituents in the oil by taking it internally. This can be done under the tongue. You can do it with water. Easiest thing is to just use veggie caps. I have a picture of them right here. These veggie capsules, they're safe to use internally. They break down very easily in the stomach. And it's 160 capsules for $4 from doTERRA. They're, well, I don't know if you can really see, but they're pretty big. And so you can just go to town with what oils that you want to take internally and take oils that way. To me, that's the easiest, and that's what we do in the family. Now, preferred products for the immune system specifically, I'm going to be talking about a couple of essential oils, some nutritional supplements, and also some household and personal care products. Now, this is really the cool thing because some of these things you're already purchasing anyway at the store. And when you order through doTERRA's Loyalty Rewards program, again, you're purchasing this stuff already. You get points back for these purchases, which is really cool. So kind of getting into the oils and specifics for, okay, we're good on time. For immune system, these two are a heavy hitter, oregano and melaleuca. Got a couple of different ways you can use these two products separately. So really separately, I mean, they both have really good antiviral, antibacterial properties. Oregano, when taken internally, helps with cleansing. It also is a heavy hitter when you're talking about germs and microbes and things like that. You can even cook with oregano as a way to get that internally. Just use 1 drop in place of, I believe, 1 teaspoon of the dried oregano herb. That's the ratio. Melaleuca you can also take internally. It's also very cleansing for the body. Now, when you take both of them together, they act as a natural antibiotic. Remember when I talked about these superbugs? Bacteria have basically what is this M&M coating around them, but they also have this sludgy stuff around the bacteria as well. And so when you're taking medications, typically those compounds have a hard time getting through the sludge, let alone to getting through the M&M coating of the shell. Now, when you're taking oregano and melaleuca together, they actually work to break down that sludge. Melaleuca actually helps to break down that sludge, allowing oregano to bind to that M&M shell and basically poke holes in it and have the bacteria burst from the outside. Does that make sense? There's a really cool video on YouTube. If you just search oregano, melaleuca, probably like bacteria or antibiotic, the video will come up. I may even post it on the Facebook page. But these two act as a natural antibiotic. So the next time you come in contact with the virus, start taking these internally. Use those veggie caps. Put in 1 drop of oregano, 1 drop of melaleuca, and it'll help with that. Next is frankincense. And I have this funny saying, when in doubt, get your frankincense out. That is 100% true. Frankincense, and you can kind of see here just 8 of the hundreds of ways you could use frankincense. I cannot talk now. But it works as a natural flu and cold medicine, good for relieving inflammation, pain relief, stress relief. So many ways you can use it. I will actually put in a drop of frankincense in my veggie caps as well, and it helps reduce inflammation all over the body. This is going to be one that helps with all systems, all cell types, all organs within the body. So much good internal benefit when you're taking frankincense internally. Copaiba is another one. Copaiba is, I guess you could say, doTERRA's version of CBD oil. However, it is not derived from the marijuana plant. So it's going to have all of the medicinal benefits of CBD oil, but none of the brain-altering effects, right? In fact, copaiba has a higher percentage of those medicinal compounds than any CBD oil on the market. Copaiba is derived from 4 different species of trees. So again, totally separate. It's not going to show up on a drug test, but look at the benefits. It supports the health of the cardiovascular system, the immune system, digestive, and respiratory systems. So it really helps multiple body systems just all over. It's a powerful antioxidant as well. Antioxidants help fight free radicals that are within the body, just floating around, wreaking havoc. And so again, taking 1 to 2 drops in a veggie capsule is great. And there's some other ways that you can use it too. But typically when I'm putting together like my everyday veggie cap, it's a drop of copaiba, a drop of frankincense, and a drop of pink pepper. So this is one that I actually just kind of added into the presentation for really one reason. And that wording is not showing up as clear as I want it to be. Sorry about that. But pink pepper has this ability to boost not only the immune system, but your metabolism when taken internally. And it also helps promote apoptosis. This is also known as cell suicide. So if you have a cell that maybe isn't functioning 100%, has just gone haywire, is just malfunctioning and not working, pink pepper is going to come in and basically tell the cell, okay, you're not working, so you need to die, basically. And when you're thinking about our cells are replicating all the time. And when you have an unhealthy cell, that's also replicating through your body. So when you're taking pink pepper, it's telling those unhealthy cells to die, to go away, and so they're no longer replicating within the body. So really, that's why I wanted to include pink pepper in this. And again, it's included in kind of my daily veggie cap that I take most days. Next is lemon. Again, when you're talking about the immune system, the lymphatic system is part of that. Lymphatic drainage, your lymph nodes, again, all of that needs to work and be able to get rid of all of the gunk that's in your body. So lemon is really good when you're taking this internally to help with, you'll see here, lymphatic cleansing. Also digestion, common colds, dry throat. Whenever I start to get a sore throat, taking lemon internally usually helps that. When my lymph nodes are swollen right under my jaw, lemon helps with that lymphatic drainage as well. Ooh, let me plug that in here. I knew that was going to happen. So lemon is really good to take internally as well. Next is Breathe. So this is the respiratory blend. If you typically get sick with, colds, asthma, anything respiratory, even snoring, you can use Breathe to help with those seasonal threats. Diffusing it works great. Applying a couple drops to your chest is really good. Adding a couple drops to your palms and cupping your hands is really good to help keep those airways clear. Breathe also comes in a couple different products. It comes in throat drops and also a Breathe stick. So if you're familiar with Vicks Vapor Rub, the Breathe Vapor Stick is the natural version of that. So you can use that right on your kids, right on their chest, on the bottoms of their feet. I've even heard of people rubbing it on their forehead for headaches because it has that peppermint in there. But there are so many uses for Breathe too when you're sick. And if there's one oil that I would highly suggest you start with, it is On Guard. On Guard is doTERRA's protective blend. Protects against environmental threats. It's a natural antioxidant. It actually boosts the body's natural defenses. So again, it's working with the body's system that's already in place. Supports healthy respiratory function, helps cleanse the air if you're just diffusing it within the home. And again, an effective alternative option for immune boost support. And I have the oil picture here, but also wanted to highlight the soft gels, really for a couple of different reasons. So On Guard in its original form contains wild orange, cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, and rosemary. These On Guard soft gels go one step further and they add Melissa, which has really great antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial properties. It's the most expensive essential oil that you could purchase from doTERRA. I think it's like $135, but it's in the On Guard soft gels. Also oregano, we already talked about that, and black pepper. Black pepper is going to help promote good circulation throughout the body. So definitely why I wanted to highlight the On Guard soft gels. Totally fine to take like once a day. Even, if you're wanting to split this, I think it's 60 soft gels, so you can take one soft gel for 2 months. You can split it with your spouse or someone else in your family and have a month's supply so both of you can benefit. But that's a really easy way to get the internal benefits of On Guard. And so now I'm going to be switching to nutritional supplements. Again, talking about gut health and um, and basic nutrition, the Lifelong Vitality Pack is really the foundation. And you can see these primary benefits here. You've got antioxidant DNA protection. You see that immune function there, stress management, I can't even, digestive health, all of these different points within the body. You're getting your vitamins and minerals. That Microplex food nutrient complex also has superfoods in it. It's got broccoli, it's got kale and Brussels sprouts and all kinds of other extracts that, again, help fill any nutritional holes that you have within your body. Totally safe to take while pregnant or if you are nursing. Totally fine to take with that. It actually has folate in it, which is the natural form of folic acid. I've heard of many people, many women who are pregnant taking Lifelong Vitality Pack as like their prenatal type vitamin, but this is foundational. So if there's anything that I would encourage you to start taking, it's Lifelong Vitality Pack. You're going to notice inflammation reduced within the body. You're going to notice you can better manage your moods. So it's got that stress management, that emotional balance in it. You'll probably notice your hair and your skin and your nails more vibrant. They're probably growing a little bit more. Everyone's a little bit different, but you will definitely see some changes with Lifelong Vitality Pack. And again, more specifically with gut health, PB Assist. This is going to help you reestablish that healthy gut balance. And so again, we know 80% of our immune system is housed in the gut. You've got to protect that. Again, when you're on Lifelong Vitality Pack and PB Assist, that is a heavy hitter duo for gut health. You just take 1 to 2 capsules twice a day. You can actually see the pill, so it kind of looks a little alienish, right? So what PB Assist is, it's a time-released system. So most probiotics that are on the market, they don't actually make it to the intestine where they need to go. They basically dissolve and die in the stomach because of all the acids. With doTERRA's probiotic, that clear section of the probiotic is actually going to slowly release and protect all of those probiotics, those prebiotics, help them get through the stomach and then actually be released in the small and large intestine where it's supposed to be. I hope that makes sense. But that is what sets doTERRA's probiotic apart from anything else in the market. It actually gets to where it needs to go. So again, you can take 1 to 2 capsules twice a day for 5 to 10 days. Some people will just always take PB Assist. It just is kind of up to you how you want to do that. And then for kids as well, going back to school, they actually have some options as well. So there's a PB Assist Junior for kids. It actually comes in a little packet, kind of like a pixie stick. Hazen loves hers and requests for her picky stick. That's what she calls it. But it has different strains that are specifically formulated for kids. So you can add that to your child's yogurt, to their smoothie. Hazen just takes it like an old school pixie stick and just takes it by itself. For her, so she's 3.5 now. She takes a whole packet at once. For younger kids, like toddler age, that's probably where I would have. That's probably the age that I would recommend you start using PB Assist Junior. Just have them do like half a packet. Don't give them the whole one. And mix it with something just to see how their little tummy does. The A to Z Chewables is their version of a multivitamin. It's in a chewable tablet. It has all of their vitamins and minerals. It also has some superfoods as well. I'm trying to think. I don't have the bottle with me, but it's got some greens. I know it's got spinach in there. It's got pomegranate extract, mango extract. So again, when you're talking about all over nutrition, especially for toddlers, like for Hazen, she does not get enough vegetables during the day. Like just putting it out there. Eating is hard right now, so it's really good to know that I can give her A to Z chewables. She calls them her happy face, and know that actually is supporting her body, where she's maybe not getting it from her food, right? And then household and personal care products. Again, some of these are already buying at the store. And you can actually jump onto doTERRA's loyalty rewards program and get points for this. So doTERRA has hand soap, they've got toothpaste, they've got a cleaner concentrate, a concentrated laundry detergent, the On Guard hand sanitizing spray. And what's really cool is it has On Guard in it. Remember, that is the protective blend, the immune boosting blend. So not only can you take the oil or use the oil, take the soft gels, you can actually get doTERRA's On Guard tons of different ways throughout the day. Washing your hands, using your toothpaste, putting it in your laundry, cleaning your house with it. It all works. Typically, or really what I did when I switched over is I just kind of used what I had, and when I ran out, I switched to doTERRA's, and I have not gone back since. And so I talked a lot about these products, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed because it's a lot of options. If I were to give you suggestions on where to start, I would start with the supplements, and depending on how comfortable you are, start with either switching over your household products or getting On Guard essential oil. That's probably my recommendations for starting. Now, if you are new to doTERRA, you can purchase full retail price. Most people don't because there's not hardly any savings with that. You can either become a wellness customer or a wholesale customer with your $35 membership. It's much like Sam's Club. You just pay $35 one time, and for an entire year, you get 25% off anytime you order. You don't have to order monthly. You don't have to sell doTERRA in order to do that. You just literally order when you need to, and you get that discount. You can also have the option to come in as a wellness advocate. It's all of the same perks, but you have the option to earn an income. So, you naturally start to share with your friends and family. Maybe you want to supplement your income, then you can build with doTERRA. And so you can do that. You can have that extra income. Some people will choose to come in with a $35 membership and like a handful of these products, and that's totally fine. You can also come in with different starter kits as well. Totally up to you how you want to do that. If you want more information on starter kits, or maybe putting together a custom kit with some of these stress and sickness products that I've talked about, message me and I will help you do that. If you are a current customer, you've got two ways to order. You've got the standard order and you've got the loyalty rewards order. Kind of talked about this a little bit. Standard order, you for sure get your 25% wholesale discount. You just order whenever you want to. With your loyalty rewards order, you can earn anywhere from 10% back to 30% back in points. And that's free points for you to redeem for free household products, free oils, free supplements. Even a bottle of frankincense, which is one of the more expensive ones, you can get that for free when you've racked up enough points. You also get additional savings and potential for more free product from doTERRA when you're on loyalty rewards. And so what's really cool is you can pick your shipping date, you pick your products, you pick your amount for that month, and again, you earn points for stuff that you're already getting at the store. And so if you're a current customer, probably the best option to get some of the products that we talked about is the Immune Loyalty Rewards Kit. So if you didn't know, doTERRA actually has loyalty rewards kits already made for you. And this is the immune one. So you can see here, you get the PB Assist, you get that probiotic, you get Oregano Touch, you get On Guard oil, the On Guard soft gels, a 5 ml bottle of the Breathe blend, this hand sanitizer, and Copaiba as well. So you are getting all of this in a kit that's $150. If you were to individually add up those products, it would probably be a little bit more expensive. That's why doTERRA's got this kit already together. And I think if you hover over shop, you'll see a section for loyalty rewards kits, and that's where you will find this bundle. There are tons of other bundles there as well if you want something for athletes or performance, if you want something for, trying to think, sleeping, stress management, things like that. But this is going to be the best bundle for you. Or again, if there were just a handful of things you saw today that you were like, oh, I'm really going to need that this season, just go ahead and add in those select products to your loyalty rewards order and process that and have that ready. Oh, there we go. And again, if you feel like you need help, if you're ready to start to kind of make over your medicine cabinet, really create a lifestyle with these products, consider my 90 Days to Oily Living program. It's personal one-on-one consults. It's weekly educational videos from me, by me. It's a monthly calendar with suggestions on the products that you purchase. And then at the end, you get to pick some of your own prizes. It might be a 10-hour diffuser. It might be some free oil or free credit from doTERRA, maybe an oil bag to be able to travel with and carry your oils and products with you. But it's a really great way to get into a rhythm. Again, get support from me. I'm pretty much at your disposal with this program. So it's been fantastic. I've had several people go through it already. This is a couple of things that they had to say about it. What's really great about the 90 Days to Oily Living program is it's also a great way to test out the loyalty rewards program. See what it's like to order through that program, to earn points, start to use those, and after the 90 days, you can choose to stay in the loyalty rewards program, or I will help you go ahead and come off of that and use your points before you do. It is fantastic to do that. So anyway, this is, what time is it? Yep, 9:56. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this was really enlightening as far as the connection between stress and your immune system. It was really hard to kind of just condense all of this to, an hour-long webinar. So if you have any questions about what I talked about, if you need some help in ordering, setting up your loyalty rewards order, getting some of these products in your home, or if you're wanting to go ahead and start your 90 Days to Oily Living, reach out to me and we will get that process started. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon.